Hi all, this is Mrs. Mester, the librarian at Chinook, and I just want to do a video about how to react to breaking news and fake news and all that information. And so that's what this video is about. And I'm using the slides from Common Sense Education, which are licensed for reuse and remix. So that's what we're doing. But that's because the information on here is well done. And so we're going to go through and use our own lesson. So how should we react to breaking news? Through this lesson, we're going to think about defining breaking news, why people might want to be the first to report a story, look at a couple news alerts to see what might be false or incomplete, and then think about the consequences of reacting right away. Has anybody ever seen a breaking news alert that might look like this? Maybe on their phone or on their TV? How does it make you feel? It's designed to trigger an emotion. It's red with big, bold letters that say breaking news. For most of us, it might trigger a bit of anxiety or nervousness, or even a little bit of excitement. What's going to happen? It definitely puts me in a mood meter in the red. Like, it just sends me straight there. Because this breaking news tends to indicate that something really important has happened. But we need to know what breaking news even is. The term breaking news is information being reported about an event that has just happened or is currently happening. That means it's happening right now, or just happened a few seconds ago. It's so new that there's not a lot of details out there right now. So that's why it's called breaking news. It tends to let you know that something is going to come up. So when we think about breaking news, why might people want to be the first to break news? Why might a person want to be the first to break the news? Why might a news outlet might be the first to break news? I know from watching the news that maybe perhaps the news outlet wants to get good ratings or show that they're really credible or on it, or that they're just excellent news reporters. Maybe a person wants to know more gossip than anybody else and let other people know that this is what's going on. So just think for yourself, why might you want to be the first to break news? How does it make you feel if you're the first person in your room or your school or your advisory class to know something? Does it make you feel important? It might. Does it make you feel like you have more information? It might. Just think about how does it make you feel. Part of why breaking news is such a big deal right now is we live in something called a 24/7 news cycle. So this is another important term. 24/7 news cycle means that at any time of the day or week, you can find news on television, on radio, in print, online, getting mobile alerts on your apps, through your social media, because news is available all the time. This was not always the case. It used to be that people would watch the evening news or the morning news and find out the information for the day. And now we live in what is called a 24/7 news cycle, where news is on all the time. How many of you have even seen alerts that might look like this? Something that says that it's from something called Metro News, or a comment maybe on a social media post by a friend, or by something that says My Rights. They all say various things on a similar topic, but they all have different levels of bias, of responsibility, of authority. So when we look at this one from Metro News that says breaking news, skate park closure, the phrase breaking news notifies us that this is brand new and that more information might come. And it has a little blurb that tells us what's going on. So it says meeting agenda indicates that the council is meeting in secret to close skate park. And officials have not yet been reached for comment. That means that more information is coming. This social media post over here from Sam T says, my uncle works for the parks department. He says skate parks cost a lot to maintain. He said the park will reopen, but he thinks the city will start charging an admission fee. So this one, in many ways, is more reliable because this person has an uncle who works for the park. However, this is a comment from a family member to a nephew, so it's not super official. So that maybe not be the most reliable information. And this one over here, my rights. Skate parks are the latest casualty in a community that doesn't value the outdoors. Here we go again. Remember the rock wall? What about our rights? All of that is showing it's designed to appeal to somebody's opinion and their bias. And so this is a less reliable source. So when you are looking at things like this, it's important to go to multiple sources just to make sure that what you're seeing is real. And when we come back and see that, this was 25 minutes ago, officials have not yet been reached for comment. Breaking news, skate parks cost a lot to maintain. As we see in a social media post, we can see that there's some element of truth, and yet this one is designed to appeal to your emotions. So alert number 1 uses phrase that shows more information's likely to come. Alert number 2, not from established news organization. Alert number 3, not from established news organization. And it's important to follow standard news organizations because they have professional standards and practices to make sure that news is correct and correct facts. And number 3 is especially alarming because it's presenting this news as though it happened to something several years before. And it's an example of bias because this person is trying to appeal to emotion. So I've said bias a couple times. Let's define that word. Bias is showing a strong opinion or preference for or against something or someone. It's your beliefs. So the key takeaway with evaluating breaking news: before you react, slow down and check the source. Is the news from a reliable news organization? If not, it might be questionable. See if other organizations are reporting the same thing. Look to see if there's more information to come. Does the article mention important details that aren't known yet? If so, it might be better to wait for the whole story before deciding what to think, or before sharing. And analyze for bias. So think about, does it have an opinion or an agenda that is trying to make you think about? If so, look for a different source. So again, we're just slowing down, checking sources, looking for details, analyzing for bias. Because we're all critical thinkers and creators, and we're capable of doing the hard work to do this. All right, so that's how to evaluate breaking news. Talk to you later.